Hello, my name is John, Kilo 5 Golf Tango, and I will explain a little bit about a program or a website that I created. Here on the top you see the filter options, and on the top left you have the token animation, and on the bottom the legend. And on the right side you have the summary, bands, CQ zones, and virtual states and virtual continents. The DXCC list, there's a list populated by the database, so these are countries that I've worked. Next field is the band. There's a hard-coded list at the moment. The modes also hard-coded. And the next field is the Q2H. That are the locations I worked from. It's also based on the database. And then the year is also based on the database, on the entries when the call was made. And the last field is the month, and it's also hard-coded because it really doesn't change a lot. Let me zoom in on the map again a little bit. They also have the toggle button, show RF path. When you turn it off, it will only show the markers. When you turn it back on, it will draw the lines again. On the right side, my summary, 5,459 calls, 82 countries, 3,336 unique call signs. Then the band, you see the band spread. When you hover over a blue line, you will see the exact number. The CQ zones, also spread graph. So most of the contacts are made in the US. And then the last tab. This is worked all states and worked all continents. And as you can see, I made 50 of 50 and 6 of 6. And also displayed on the bottom all the states that I've worked. The filters, let me filter down on 2026. This year I didn't really work that much. So you all see that the right side is getting updated. So I only worked 2 continents, only 13 states. You can enable the time animation. And then you can more or less see at what time you're able to reach what destination. So if you want to try to hunt down a specific location, you can more or less estimate if you make a good chance with the help of this graph. If you're, would be getting lucky at that time. So select back to all. And you can do the same also for all the calls, so over the complete database. Before I was able to drag the slider, but somehow that is being blocked right now. You have to figure out how to get it enabled again. But you can pause at any moment. But yeah, I'm not able to drag the slider anymore. So the information on the right side will always be also filtered down by the filter that you selected. It's only 1 call. These were 2 calls. That's my first DX location. And the colors you can see on the bottom left. So these are 10 meter calls and 20 meter calls. Sweden, 20 meter calls. So the program itself, it's a PHP web page. It's making a connection to the database, loads the QSOs in a local list, and then it will filter down on the local list. So you don't need to have the database connection open all the time. I have some Python scripts to help fill the database. I fill the database with help of LOTW, eQSL, WSJT-X, and I think I also used clublog, but I'm not 100% certain of that. But I have some Python scripts, and they're all in my GitHub repository that will help you fill and clean up the database. And if there's a duplicate entry, it will just update the information if there's additional or different information. So the last file that you upload, that will have the information that will be populated. So if in the last upload your grid square is different, then it will update its grid square. But all the other information, if that doesn't change, it will just be the same. So it only updates different information. So I will link that in my in the description below, the link to my GitHub. So you can install it locally or install it on my webpage, because I have a webpage that I really don't use a lot. So that's why I installed it here. But you can run it locally on your machine. Just need a web server locally and MySQL locally, because it's based on a MySQL database. So filter down on other locations. My FT4 contacts. FT8 contacts, most of my contacts are FT8. And these are some locations that I worked from. Calls from Brownsville with my second call sign. With my first call sign. And most of these contacts are on FT8 with my UBitX. This was when I was living with a friend. Calls made from my apartment here in Dallas. And most times I only ran 20 watts from home. Photo locations, Collide State Park, Lake Mineral Wells, this is a wildlife area in Rio Grande Valley. Palo Alto is between Brownsville and Los Fresnos. Palmito Ranch is also a fairly new park, also in the Rio Grande Valley. Mount Rushmore, I was there in 2024. And Resaca de la Palma is also a park in Brownsville. There you have the Canadian contact that's out of bounds. But when you see when you hover over a contact or you click on a contact, you will see more information. Waco. And as you can see, also the map will zoom in or out on the contacts that you make based on your filter to be able to display all the contacts. So if, for example, you're not reach anything across the Pacific, it will just zoom in on, say, North America, South America, and Europe. If you only have contacts within North America, it will zoom in on North America. Yeah, Spring Creek is the park where I made most of my contacts. In 2024, I also had my kilo there for POTA. So 1,000 contacts within a year. So for this, I'm just playing around a little bit. Now on the left bottom, you have the legend, so the colors in the display. You can look what bit it was in the legend. As you can see, most of my contacts are 20 meters, and some on 10 meters. So I hope you liked it. Link will in the description for my GitHub. See you next time. Thank you.